everybody, welcome to Review a Day, episode number 6 from Monday, August the 18th, 2008. Hello everybody, welcome to Review a Day, the daily video blog where I review a movie 7 days a week. My name is Leland Brungar. Welcome. The movie I'm going to review for you guys today is the new Kevin Costner movie, Swing Vote. The movie is directed by Joshua Michael Stern, who is kind of a newcomer. He didn't have like really any real movies on his IMDb, I don't think, or any movies I really wanted to see. It was also written by Joshua Stern and Jason Richman. I believe they wrote it together and then Joshua Stern directed it. This movie stars Kevin Costner, Madeline Carroll, Kelsey Grammer, Nathan Lane, Dennis Hopper. There's a lot of people in this movie. It has a really great cast. Yeah, it's a good cast. So this movie is basically Kevin Costner is a drunk and he's a bad father, and his daughter signs him up to vote, and she ends up, he gets drunk, passes out, and she goes and votes for him. Something happens, his vote doesn't count, and the presidential election is essentially not finished because it's come down to one counting in the United States for the final electoral vote, and it's not being finished because of one vote, and it was Kevin Costner's vote, which didn't count. And so the presidents kind of end up just trying to please him because they want his vote so that they can become the president. And yeah, that's the synopsis of this movie. I remember seeing the trailer for this movie and being like, you know, I was like, that looks like that's a good trailer. This is the first time I've ever been excited about a Kevin Costner movie. I remember there's all these images of like, you know, Mexican immigrant workers, and I was like, oh, they're going to deal with immigration, and they're going to talk about just kind of how ridiculous the political system is, and voting and everything like that, and it's going to, you know, one man can make a difference and all stuff like that. And I remember thinking, I'm like, ooh, I really hope this isn't like Thank You for Smoking. And I liked Thank You for Smoking, but my biggest problem with that movie is that if you saw the trailer, you saw the movie. All the best moments of Thank You for Smoking are in the trailer, just about. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, that's the movie. And I was kind of afraid that this was going to be another Thank You for Smoking, that this movie wasn't going to live up to the great trailer it had. That aside, this movie, it had those really interesting ideas in it, and it had all these, there was a cool spirit with this movie I liked. And then as I was watching the movie, I think it was like 25 minutes in, all those ideas fell over and died. This movie is fucking terrible. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe that people read this script and thought, yeah, let's turn this into a movie, because it is so cliche and so trite. There's a scene very early on in the movie between Kevin Costner and Judge Reinhold, the 80s guy. He was in a lot of 80s movies. One of my favorite kind of Freaky Friday ripoffs called Vice Versa, that he did with Fred Savage, where they switched bodies. He's in this movie, and I haven't seen him in such a long time, and he sucks in it. But there's this scene between the two of them, and it's essentially like a shitty after-school special you would see about why we should vote. They're like, well, you know, our votes really count. And one guy's like, oh, you know, but they don't. And it was fucking terrible. And it was just scene after scene that just made me roll my eyes. You know, the conceit of this movie is that one man can make a difference, and they literally say it every scene of the movie. There's just speech after speech of, we only have to get one man to come and vote for us, and then Kevin Costner, in the next scene, he's like, well, I'm just one man, and I can decide the future, and it is horrible. I couldn't believe it. That they left all these speeches in where they just repeat it over and over again. And I can't believe that these great actors like Nathan Lane and Stanley Tucci, Dennis Hopper, Kelsey Grammer, people I really like, are in this movie. Dennis Hopper, Easy Rider, is in this horrible movie. I couldn't stop rolling my eyes, and I actually walked out at the end. I was really hoping this movie was going to be an hour and a half. And I remember at the 60-minute mark just like checking my watch over and over again. I'm like, okay, great, 30 minutes left. And then I think we were at the hour 45 mark, and I just didn't see an end in sight. And I left and went to Best Buy, and I think I bought Friday on DVD, the Ice Cube movie, which was much more satisfying than having to sit through the rest of that movie. It's interesting because I don't think Kevin Costner is terrible in this movie at all. I swore I would never see another Kevin Costner movie after I saw Rumor Has It, which is just horrible, and it's associated with The Graduate, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And, I mean, I like Bull Durham, I enjoy Field of Dreams, but Kevin Costner, no thank you, I don't want anything to do with it, and he really wasn't bad in this movie, but it's just, he's such a shitty father in the movie, and on one hand we're supposed to kind of laugh about, oh, you know, he got drunk and fell asleep in his truck again, and he left his daughter waiting for him all day, and then at the same time we're supposed to, like, care about him and the well-being of him and, the decisions he's going to make. You know, we're asked to laugh about that and then worry about immigration and all these things. And I don't think you can't have comedy and have something serious in the same movie. I think great comedies have really important things to say, but this movie, it didn't do it well at all. And the daughter in this movie, she's supposed to be so smart and so brilliant. But if this girl was that smart, she would not live with her father. She would. I mean, her mother's. There's this weird scene at the end of the movie that's really tacked on, where she goes to find the mom, and the mom's like a heroin addict, and that scene was put in there just to justify that she's with her father. Like, oh, well, her dad's really not that shitty. He's just a drunk. Her mom's a heroin addict, for Christ's sake. It's not so bad, but it was horrible. But if there is one thing I can say that is positive about this movie, is that the young girl, Madeline Carroll, is a good actress. So many times I think they cast young people in movies because they're quirky or funny, or I don't know. But this girl was an actress, and I felt she did a good job. And as a young girl in a movie, you know, good for her. I think that's always great. This movie isn't funny. It isn't smart. There was, I don't know, maybe somewhere in this script there was kind of a funny, dark comedy satire in there. I don't know if that got lost in the production, but I hope so, because I think it's really sad that there's so many great actors in this movie. If there was one funny part in the movie, and I hope someone uploads it to YouTube afterwards, because it's very funny. It's a pro-life commercial that Dennis Hopper has in the movie, where he's talking about how children are the future, and he's walking through a playground, and children are like literally blowing up, and it was in such bad taste, but it was so funny, and I wish more of the movie had moments like this, and I feel like they were in there, but they just didn't get fleshed out. So I give this movie a two big thumbs down. It was awful. I walked out. I've never done that in the theater, and I mean, this movie tested my patience, and it just insulted my intelligence over and over again. I do not recommend this in any way. I didn't say the ending, but my family told me the ending, and I'm so fucking glad I didn't sit around to wait for that. So tomorrow, to cheer myself up, I'm going to be doing one of my favorite. I'm going to review one of my favorite Federico Fellini films from. It's an old black and white Italian movie from the 50s. It's fantastic. It'll be a little bit of a history lesson, I guess. It's great. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.